right, now we have on with us the state championship head coach, Steve Horn from Williamston, Division III champions with a 3-2 win over Hudsonville Unity Christian here this past Saturday. Steve, man, welcome into the broadcast.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having us.
Well, you're very welcome. You brought along with you some guests here. Let's get into who they are.
Hi, I'm Sophie Casey. I'm a senior at Williamston High School.
Fantastic.
I'm Liz Bellinger, and I also go to Williamston, obviously, and we're all 4 graduates, by the way. We just graduated, so.
Well, congratulations to all of you. And who else we got?
I'm waiting for Kaylee.
Oh, you want me to go?
Mm-hmm.
I'm Kaylee Douglas. As they said, we're all seniors in Williamston.
And I'm Rochelle Maxson. All from Williamston, obviously.
Well, welcome here to MSN Weekly. We appreciate we were out there on Saturday as part of our pregame show previewing that matchup between Unity Christian. Matter of fact, in our predictions, me and Steve both said 2-1 in favor of you in our predictions. We were slightly off. It was 3-2 instead. But Steve, let's talk. Before we started recording this, we were talking about, going down, first 5 minutes of that game. You've been there before. Talk about that.
Yeah, with this group, we actually, unfortunately, we've had a few games like that, and a couple happened in the state tournament. But definitely, again, showed our resolve, showed who we were, our character, the heart, that determination, to win and never give up. And we go down a goal in the state championship game. Your heart kind of stops for a second, because in those games, they're close. They're 1-0 games, 2-0 games, stuff like that. So, but never stop believing. The girls never stop believing, obviously, either. And we continue to fight and work at it. And we were able to come back and equalize, and then go ahead with a minute left.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, 2 minutes after the initial goal, I was actually standing right at halfway line when the penalty shot was given to your team, and then ultimately when Kaylee Douglas stepped up and took the kick. Kaylee, you're here with us. Talking about taking a penalty shot in the first 10 minutes of a state final. That's got to be something that not an easy feat to say the least.
No, definitely not. It was very nerve-wracking, but I knew I just had to hit it on frame, and if it hit the keeper, then we still could hit it, but I just knew I had to hit it on frame, and hopefully it went in. That's the message of the day. Something we talk about a lot on our broadcasts is just find a way to execute by getting it on frame. Be surprised at how much things can go your way if you just get it on frame. So it's a great comment. And then, talking about, how, you're down with 10 minutes to go in the game. It's 2-1, right? And you have a free kick, 45 yards from goal. And who steps up? Then Liz Bellinger. And Liz, you're here. Talk about in that moment, you mentioned, in some of the interviews that you'd practice from 45 yards out. I'm not sure of a lot of athletes that practice 45-yard shots.
No.
I don't know.
Practice as in me stepping up and always taking the kicks, whether it's in practice or games. Usually I have many different alternatives on how, I think we can score, whether it's a little trick play, or if it's a corner, or if it's free kick from around anywhere. At that point in the game, though, I wasn't really that nervous, because I was like, let's just calm down. We still have time to, recoup, gain some patience. I was like, okay, let's just hit this thing. Let's just do it. Bam. Top right corner. That's exactly what I was hoping for. And just like Kaylee said, it's really just hitting on frame is obviously our biggest thing. I've taken some before and it's gone over. But that's never stopped me. No way. I could have passed that. We probably still would have scored, because forwards, midfielders were fantastic at that. But just being able to hit it on frame was obviously very good in our favor regarding how much energy it brought to the team too. So it was good. Great experience.
I can only imagine you're talking about having, I think close to 2,000 people at that game, not to mention what was going on behind you at the softball field with all the crowd there. I mean, it was a really electric atmosphere. And for us as just kind of like bystanders, there on Saturday, I would have loved to have played in a game with that many people around, the excitement, the electricity, and then to be able to score a goal with 9 minutes to go from 45 yards out, on a rope. I mean, that's unbelievable. And I know, Steve, you got some questions you want to ask as well.
Yeah, well, first off, congratulations. I'd like to feel that somehow, some way, John and I had a bad string of luck of interviewing coaches prior to championship games. Every single coach and team we had on lost. So good thing we didn't reach out to you beforehand. Appreciate that a lot. But I had the luck that I refereed you guys and I refereed Bloomfield Hills both late in the tournament, and they both went on to win state championship games. So congratulations. I mean, I think you guys, it was well earned. Obviously, I don't see you guys often reffing in the area of KLA and OA and LVC down here. But occasionally I do see Williamston here and there, and it was definitely one of the better squads I've seen from you guys. And talk about, if any of the players want to talk about using that resiliency of the penalty shootout win in the semifinal in a hard fought game against Notre Dame Prep that really forced you guys to have to play in a physical manner, a draining game in what we delayed the game till 8 o'clock, right? We took water breaks. That game was exhausting, right? And a real physically emotional game, and how you use that momentum to say, hey, I don't care that Unity Christian's been here 10 of the last 13 years and won it, right? That we know we can play with anyone and eventually become champions. Anybody want to talk?
Well, just winning the Notre Dame Prep game was just like, to me, that was the dream, because we lost it the semifinals last year. So even like winning in the PKs, I actually thought we were going to go into overtime again against Unity Christian. At that 10 minutes before Liz scored that, I was like, oh boy, here we go, score one. And then she scored, and I thought we were going to go into overtime. I was like, we can't let them score another goal. That's it. And then Breyer scored. I was like, oh, God bless. Oh, it was so awesome. But going into PKs, we've done that a couple times before, and it is not fun. I did not like it at all. But that's okay.
I would like to add, I think in the past few games that we've gone in PKs, it was definitely nerve-wracking then, but for me at least, and probably a lot of other people on our team, I felt actually like laid back during those PKs. Like, I trusted in my team, I trusted in my keeper, and I felt very confident about that energy that we brought, because in the days prior to that game, we had a lot of chemistry that we were building as a team, and we were bonding really, really well before those really big games. So for me, those PKs, like, it was absolutely awesome to win, but I was like, I so trust in every single one of my teammates, like every single one that is on the field taking the kicks, and everyone else watching on the bench, or like our fans and the families watching. I just felt for me, it was like overwhelming with support, and I felt very trusted and very confident in our team that we were gonna win. So, and we did. Thank God.
Well, and this is what I want to ask this question, because as a former high school soccer coach myself, we oftentimes played against very, very good opponents, and we did that on purpose. One, to prepare for the deep playoff runs that we wanted to go on. It always didn't work out in our favor, but you're going against a key team in Unity Christian that's been there quite a bit. We talked about that on the broadcast on Saturday. 10 championships in 12 years, something crazy number. That's a lot of championships. And you guys going into this game, you were ranked number 1 in the state, to Unity Christian. I think they were ranked number 2. But they have a history. How does that play into the mindset? And clearly it didn't bother you going into this because you guys won the game, but for a lot of players, that history, that experience of another team being there a lot can weigh on you going into a game.
I think we used it as motivation. Like, it was very motivational for us. Like, we were driven to go win that game because they've been there before, they've won it, but we haven't. And we wanted that banner in our team room to say state champs for the first time. So we did that.
What a great answer that was. It was just, that was really good. So well done, Sophia. We appreciate that. Steve, going into, and I remember this, I was just showing you my rings from my heyday, some 23 years ago. So I'm a little aged in regards to my championships, but back when I was, in high school, we were going through these championship runs. A lot of it about team bonding, was about being together as much as you possibly could be. Right. And in today's world, it's not always easy to do that with the way schedules are. But having team dinners, getting together maybe for like 4 or 5 hours, watching a movie at someone's house, eating food, right? Just getting together. What was your kind of, run, and what you guys did to keep bonded, keep close during this run, so that you were all, relaxed and ready to go?
I didn't have to do much of that. The girls did it on themselves. They organized team dinners, they organized team breakfast, I think, as well. I know I will take credit. I took him the tropical smoothie one time, so I'll get that one. But the girls it's a really close knit group. We've got 7 seniors, excuse me, a good group of juniors, but they've been playing together for 2 years now. So this is the exact same team that we had last year. So I think they kind of just have grown together as a team and as a group and as friends. So it just kind of naturally happened that they're constantly always hanging out or always doing something and being around each other. So I didn't have to do much there in that regard. And all that credit goes to the girls on the team, because I think they took upon themselves to really, try to be, a closer knit group and, do things together outside of training. And I think it paid off a little bit in the end there. I think you saw like in the final and in the Notre Dame prep game as well, just kind of what believing in each other. And we have a motto, we play, for each other. And, you definitely saw that in the semi and the final.
Yeah, there's no question about that. And when you think about, resiliency and what Steve was talking about in regards to, the penalty shots and having to overcome, the changes in the game format here last Wednesday. And then you find the fact that, hey, you're down again, once again, against Unity Christian in the final. Being able to quickly let a mistake or a moment of lapse or whatever focus pass by and then go back to it, right, is something that teams struggle with, especially in big moments. And here your team in those big moments were able to recover and within 2 minutes get back down, get a penalty shot, get a goal, and then fight their way back here with that 45-yard shot from Liz Bellinger. And then with 1 minute to go, Breyer, is it Fenich? Is how you pronounce her last name?
Fennick.
Scores with 1 minute to go in the game to give you guys your first state championship.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at 4 of the girls on this team that drove us in those regards, and these are our captains, and they lead both, emotionally, verbally, and then by example as well. And I think actually my favorite moment in the game, and I don't even know if Sophie remembers this or not, but Kaylee scores a PK and Sophie comes in here. I think she was like, "Let's go!" And I've never seen her so mean in my life. But I saw in the replay of the PK, but you could tell her she was just motivated to get everybody going, and to change the way we were playing. So, as a coach, it's like the best thing in the world to have 20 some odd coaches and players on the field just driving each other forward and pushing each other. And when you do that, success, may not always be, winning a state championship, but you're going to have success as a group and motivating people on how to, do things together as a group and how to take that from soccer and carry that over into life.
No, it's a great point. And, so here we are, right? It's, hang on one second here. So, here we are, right? We're, you're 1 minute left. The goal is just scored, right? And that 1 minute probably feels like a lifetime, right? It's like, it can't come fast enough. And finally, when you start to hear the announcer saying 10, 9, 8, which by the way, his voice was phenomenal. We had to mention that. It was a phenomenal voice that he had, but 10, 9, 8, 7, and then finally that, the double zeros hit, right? What's going through all your minds?
I started bawling. I was so happy, but so sad at the same time, because I didn't want the season to be over, but it was a great way to end it, in my opinion.
Retweet. I agree, Ellie. It was like finally we got to this point after all of our hard work and practices. And honestly, for 2 years, because like Steve said, a lot of our team last year was exactly the same as it was this year. Not many seniors left last year. It was only like 3. So it was just like, hey, we made it here. We've done it. And to be able to finally bring it home and, you know, a little trophy and then the banner, it's a really great feeling. But it was also very emotional too, because a lot of us aren't going to end up playing with each other next year. So it was good to me.
Sophie or Kaylee?
I went straight to Liz after that horn went off. I hugged her for probably a solid 10 seconds and I just had like tears streaming down my face. It was the best way to go out that I can imagine. Like, I'm so thankful for my 4 years here at Williamston, and I'm so thankful that it could end that way. And yeah, I'm just really grateful.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like for me, it was just like a lot of excitement because as soon as it hit, I was like, our goals for all 4 years have finally been accomplished. Like we all wanted it for so long, and it was just so great to like finally, as Liz said, like we finally got the trophy, we finally got the banner. Like we were all just so excited, and I think we all sat there hugging each other. Like I hugged so many people in those last few minutes that it was amazing.
Mhm.
No, that it is an amazing feeling. I have experienced it myself again a very long time ago, but I have experienced. I know what it feels like to rush that field in the moment, not only in a final but a semifinal after winning in penalty shots. So it's an unimaginable feeling, and you're in a select group of young ladies who have had a chance to play and win in a state final. So congratulations to Williamston, the 2022 women's girls state final champions for Division III. Congratulations to you, Steve Horn, and your win as the head coach. And we are excited, hopefully one day to call one of your games.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. And thanks for having us on today.
Well, you're very, very welcome. Velasquez, shot, and that goes off the post and in. 6. Oh, good move by Wen. Cost 6, wide open net for Koscheck, and that's goal number 2. Now wide to the Hodgson, inside the 18. Let's put it across to Steinwasser, saved by Sally.